Alright, students. Yesterday we discussed a few things about reflection of light. I told you chapter number 10, first chapter of physics, light, reflection and refraction. That's the chapter's heading. And this chapter is divided into basically two parts. The first part deals with reflection and the second part deals with refraction. And we were doing the first part, that is reflection. In reflection, we were specifically discussing about spherical mirrors, reflection of light through spherical mirrors. And in spherical mirrors, we discussed what a concave mirror is and what a concave and convex mirrors. Okay. So first we are going to discuss image formation by a concave mirror and then by a convex mirror. Now to discuss the position of the image formation by a linear object or a straight vertical object, we are going to see 6 different positions. Okay, when the object is at infinity. At infinity means the object is very far away, very far. The object is like a distant star. At night, when you look up in the night sky and you look at a star, the light coming from the star is considered as infinity. It's very far away, and the rays of light which are coming from there are considered as parallel rays of light. Okay, so we will discuss the first position of the object at infinity, then beyond the center of curvature, beyond C, means beyond the center of curvature. Then when the object, the linear object is placed at the center of curvature, where is the image formed? What type of image is formed? Okay, what is the size of the image? And then we'll discuss about when the object is placed between the center of curvature and the focus or the focal point. When the object is placed between C and F, where is the image formed? What type of image? Is it real or virtual? Is it inverted? Is it erect? Magnified? Diminished? Diminished means very small. And when the object is placed at F, okay, at the focal point, what kind of image is formed? And finally, the sixth position is when the object is placed between focus and P. P means the pole or the center or the vertex of the mirror, very close to the mirror. What kind of image is formed? So we will be discussing all 6 of these positions. But remember, this has to be done with the help of what is called ray diagrams. Ray diagrams help us to understand these different positions carefully. And you have to learn how to draw those diagrams because you have to also prepare for the exam and know how to make these diagrams. So just make sure you pay proper attention to this. Okay? Watch it again, second time, third time if necessary. Let us see the first position at infinity. Okay? When the object is placed at infinity, like a distant star. Now, as I said, the rays of light which come from infinity are said to be parallel to each other. So when you make this first, make sure you make the principal axis. This is your principal axis. Okay? And then with the help of you always do it with the help of a scale. Make sure that you make these figures with the help of a large. If you have a big scale, use a big scale. If you have a small plastic scale, you can use that also. But use a scale to draw this diagram because distances are important. Alright? Now suppose you use a rounder and a pencil. Okay? Suppose you put the point out here. This is your point where you have placed the rounder. And then with appropriate radius, make this. Okay? Use a rounder and make this point here. Alright? Then since it's a concave mirror, this part is black. Paint it black or it is not the shiny surface. This part is not shiny. Okay? Alright. Now this is the pole of the mirror. The pole, the center of the mirror or the vertex of the mirror. And this distance, okay, we call this as the center of curvature, C. Make sure this distance is properly measured with a rounder. Use a rounder, a compass, okay, to draw this figure. After that, okay, make the half the distance, approximately, whatever distance is there, okay, make it half. Your half distance is here. This is focus. So now we have got the principal axis. The principal axis is ready. This is your principal axis. You can rub this part out if you want to. It's not a problem here. Okay. Principal axis, center of curvature, the focus, the pole of the mirror, the concave mirror itself. Okay. And remember, when you do this, you must be very careful that these distances are properly measured. Otherwise, your diagram will not come perfectly. Now, in my case, of course, I have taken approximate distances, but when you do it in a notebook, make sure you use a scale and a rounder. Alright, now I am going to at infinity. So when the object is at infinity, the rays of light are parallel to the principal axis. Use a ruler again. Use the ruler to make parallel to the principal axis. Okay, if you use a ruler, you will find it a lot easier. Okay, this way. So one ray of light is parallel to the principal axis this way. This is the ray of light. The other ray of light below, again parallel to the principal axis. Okay, and then after that, after reflection from here, this is the point of reflection. Okay, this way we draw it from this point passing through C, and from this also after reflection they pass through F. Sorry, okay, it will pass through F. This is this way. Okay, the ray of light. After reflection, this is the ray of light. This is the ray of light. This is the incident ray of light. This is the reflected ray of light. The other reflected ray of light will also pass to the focus. Okay, from the point of incident. Alright, I don't want to make this very long, so I'll just keep it here. Okay, so there is no confusion. The rays of light meet here. Okay, so the image is formed. The image, see what I'm writing here. The image is formed at the focus. The image is formed at the focus. Okay, the image is, you can see it is like a point. Okay, it is formed at the focus, but it's like a point. The image is highly diminished. Highly diminished. Diminished means very small. Highly diminished and point-like. It is point-like. Means it is like a point. The image is real and inverted. Inverted. Alright. This is the description of the image. Once again, okay, let me explain. This is important part of the chapter, and therefore the rest is of reading part where you have to learn of the laws and things like that. But this is the important part, and I want you to understand this thoroughly. Okay. First of all, image formation by concave mirrors, and then we will do by convex mirrors. Image formation by concave mirror. For this, we will be studying 6 different positions. We are taking the first one at infinity. Now, when the light is coming from infinity, the rays of light are parallel. Remember, we first constructed the principal axis. Okay. Then, with C as center, we constructed a concave mirror. Alright, this is the pole, this is the focus. 2 rays of light are parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, they pass through the focus, and at focus, the image is formed. So, the image is formed at the focus. The image is highly diminished, very small. It is almost like a point-like, and it is real and inverted. Remember, a real image is always inverted. Okay, a real image is always inverted. So, this is the first position at infinity. Now, in the same way, we have to draw different positions. So, let us see the second one. Okay. Always first make the principal axis. Once you make the principal axis, it becomes a lot easier. Now see, the second one is beyond C. Beyond the center of curvature. Again, first make the principal axis. Okay. So this is your principal axis. Take a rounder and pencil. Put the rounder point out here. Let us suppose this is your rounder point. Okay. And with the help of rounder, make your concave mirror. Okay. This is the darkened part. This is not a mirror, this side. Okay, so we make small lines to indicate that this is the rough surface. And this is the concave mirror. Inner part is the reflecting surface. Now this part is the pole of the mirror, P. This is the center of curvature. Half the distance, okay? Like this is this one, half the distance. Use a scale once again. Now it's ready. Okay, this part you can rub it out. Okay, now the mirror is ready, the principal axis is ready. Now the object, linear object, straight object is placed beyond C. So let us call it here. It is formed at A, B. This is the object. Okay, this is a linear object. What is a linear object? It's a straight object. Like for example, this pen. This pen is a linear object, okay, or a tree or a telephone pole, something like that. Now, again, for image formation, how will the image be formed? Take a scale, one line is parallel to the principal axis this way. Okay, this is the parallel, one ray of light is going this way. Then at the point of, this is the point of incidence. Let us call this a point D. Okay, this is the point of incidence, point D. Then after reflection, it will pass through F. So see how I am doing it now. After reflection, it passes through F. This is how it passes through F. After it has passed through that, now we take the second one. The second one, second ray of light passes through C. Okay, this way. Just make sure that your line is correct. Okay, it should not slip at all. This is your F, and the board surface is very smooth. It can easily slip, but you should make sure in your notebook it doesn't slip. Alright, now after reflection, now you can see here this ray of light, it goes this way, and then when a ray of light passes through the center of curvature, it goes back in the same direction. So image will be formed here. Okay, image is formed here, and we call it A. This is now inverted. So A will be here, and B will be here. A dash B dash. Okay, A apostrophe B apostrophe. A dash B dash. That's the image. Image is formed here. This is the image. Image is formed here. Now let us describe the image. Okay, the image is formed. Now where is it formed? Formed. It is formed between C and F. Okay, the image is formed between C and F. Between C and F. Now the image is inverted, so it's real. The image is real and inverted. Upside down. It is inverted. Real and inverted. What about the size? It is highly diminished. Okay. The image is small. That means image is diminished. We use the word diminished. D-I-M-I-N-I-S-E-D. D-I-M-I-N-I-S-H-E-D. Diminished. Diminished means small. You can also write the word small. If you don't remember the word diminished, you can write the word small. So, once again, the first one was when the image object is placed at infinity. Now, when the object is placed beyond the center of curvature. When the object is placed beyond the center of curvature, you can see how the image is formed. One ray of light is parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, it passes through the focus. The other ray of light passes straight to the center of curvature, and it goes back along the center of curvature. And the two rays of light meet here. Where the two rays of light meet, an image is formed. The image is upside down, that means it is real and inverted. Real and inverted. It is small, so it is diminished. Okay, and the image is formed between C and F. Okay, so the image is formed between C and F. Now we'll discuss at C. What happens when the object is placed at C? Right. So when the object is placed at C, what happens when the object is placed at the center of curvature? Now, what happens when the object is placed at the center of curvature? What kind of image is formed? And the description, the type of image that is formed. What is the nature and position of the image? The question asked will be, what is the nature and position of the image formed when the object is placed at C? What is the nature and position of the image formed when the object is placed at C? So let's discuss this. Once again, principal axis, okay, a straight line using a scale and a pencil. Always use a pencil only, don't use a pen. Now, mark your point C, say this is your point C. Put the rounder point here and make a, okay, this way. This is your mirror. So you mark it, this is your concave mirror. Okay, this is your pole and this is your center. Halfway is your focus. You can rub this part if you want to rub it up, no problem here. Okay, now your principal axis is ready. Measurements are important, so just be careful about that. Now, After that, you want to place the object at C. So let us suppose I place the object at C. Exactly at C. This is AB. AB is the object. Okay, this is your object. This is your object AB. Now, again, use a pencil and scale. One ray of light is parallel to the principal axis. This way, it is parallel to the principal axis, and then after reflection, it passes through F. Okay, after reflection, it passes through F. This way, light is passing through F. This is the ray of light. It is going towards the mirror. This point of incidence, is called point B. It is marked as point B. Now, the other ray of light will pass directly through the focus. It goes directly through the focus and then comes back here. Okay, here, this is the reflected ray of light. This way. The arrows indicate the direction of the ray. Now you can see here that it was placed at C, so the image is also placed at, the image is also formed here. A dash, B dash. So the image is formed exactly at the same place. So what can you say? The image is formed at C. So when the object is placed at C, the image is also formed at C. And what type of image? It is real and inverted. The image is real and inverted. Is real and inverted. Okay. Now what about the size? It is the same size. The image is same size. Same size as the object. Okay, the image is same size as the object. That means you can see AB and A dash B dash are of the same size. So once again, first one was at infinity, second one at beyond C, and the third one now is when the object is placed at C. When the object is placed at C, the image is also formed at C. And the image is real and inverted. The image is of the same size. It is not diminished, it is not magnified. Okay, it is of the same size. Now we come to number 4, between C and F. What happens when the object is placed between C and F? Again, we proceed in the same manner. But remember, the diagram will change slightly. Alright, let's see now. Okay. Number 4. Number 4 is between C and F. When the object is placed between C and F. When the object is placed between C and F, what happens? Once again, take a pencil and scale, draw your principal axis, put your rounder at any place. Suppose I put it here. Okay, take appropriate radius and make your concave mirror. Okay, mark this with a pencil. You have got it marked here this way. Alright, you can call it MN. MN is the aperture or the size of the mirror. This one, MN. That is, MN is called the aperture or the size of the mirror here. Okay, light passes through this. Now this is the pole. Okay, now this is C. Make half of this, approximately half of this is F. Remember, I am taking approximately because I am not using a scale. Alright, you must use a scale and half the distance must be taken. Okay, now object is placed between C and F. Okay, so let us suppose I put the object out here. This is your object, A, B. AB is your object now. Okay, this is your object, AB. Now once you have got your object, what happens when the object is placed there? First ray of light will travel straight and parallel to the principal axis, this way. Okay, this direction. It will pass through the focus. You can see it will pass through the focus now. Okay, it passes through the focus. After it passes through the focus, the second ray of light. Now the second ray of light, you see, it will pass through the focus and meet this way. Alright, and it goes this way. If you have to extend this, extend it further. Okay, this way. Now draw this. It must be parallel to the principal axis. Remember that. Now you can see this. The image is formed. Image is formed here. Okay, so this is the image. A dash, B dash. The image is formed. You can see it is formed beyond C. Correct? A dash, B dash. Always use a scale. You can rub out whatever is not required. You can rub it out afterwards. Okay? Whatever is not required, you can rub it out. Now, where is the image formed beyond C? The image is formed beyond the center of curvature C. After the center of curvature, beyond C, the image is real and inverted. Real and inverted. You can see it is a real image. An inverted image is always real. A real image is always inverted. What about the size? It is slightly bigger, so it is magnified. The image is magnified. Is magnified. The word magnified means larger. Larger than the original image. The image is magnified, means it is larger than the object. AB. AB is the object. A dash, B dash is the image. This image, okay, the image is larger. It is more magnified, bigger. It is real and inverted, and it is formed beyond C. So that was position number 4, between C and F. You can see these diagrams are called ray diagrams, and ray diagrams are extremely important in optics. Optics means the study of light. Okay, you've got to understand how to make these diagrams. So this was number 4. Now let's see what happens at position number 5. Okay, again, whatever the position, you must follow the same steps. If you follow the same steps, you will get all the diagrams very easily. And you need to do it in a notebook. If you do it in a notebook, you will find it easier. Alright, number 5, at F. When the object is placed at the focal length, at the focus. Okay, so again, principal axis. Okay, take a point C. This is your C. Draw it like this. Okay. If it is not very big, just make sure it's not too big. Okay, this is your mirror. Let us call it MN. MN is the aperture of the mirror. Okay, you can rub this out. Then this is your P, the center of the mirror. This is your C. Half the way distance. Half the distance is F. Okay, your principal axis is ready. The mirror is ready. Now, what about the object? Object is placed between C and F. The object is placed between C and F. Okay, that was at F. This is number 5. At F. So we place the object at F. This is your A, B. The object is placed at the principal focus. Focus or principal focus is the same thing. We can call it focal point also. Now, once it is placed at the focus, you see 2 rays of light. One is parallel to the principal axis, this way. Okay, it's parallel to the principal axis, and then after reflection, it passes through the focus. So see now, after reflection, it passes through the focus. Just try to make sure you get it exactly correct, so that the diagram becomes nice. Okay. Now you can see this. Okay, it passes through the focus this way. Now that means one ray of light was parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, it passes through the focus. The other ray of light, okay, keep it in line with this C. See this one. I'm keeping in line with C this way and draw it this way. Okay. Now if you see, the rays of light become parallel. Okay. These are rays of light. You can make it dot 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 this way. Okay. Dot 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 line when it is extended backward. All right. Now the rays of light become parallel here. This way, the rays of light, it goes towards this and it comes back. Okay, passing through the center. So the image is, remember this is FF. Okay, the image is formed at infinity, very far away, like a star. Okay, it is exactly the opposite of this. It is formed at infinity. Okay, the image is real and inverted, like a star. A star is real. It is a real image, and a real image is always inverted image. A real image will be inverted, and the image is magnified. It will always be large. Okay, magnified. That is, you can use the word enlarge, large or enlarge. The image will become big, but you might start thinking that where is the image? Well, the image is formed at infinity, very far away, like a distant star. A distant star is also real, and therefore the image formed will be real and inverted. And it is a star is of course a very large object, so the image will be enlarged. Okay, these rays of light will be parallel to each other. If you make it, if you, I have not done it exactly perfectly because I am using a scale very roughly. If you use perfect measurements in a notebook, you will get parallel rays of light. Okay. Now let us see one last image object, and that is between C and F. Okay. When the object is placed between C and F, between C and F, that is number 6. Between C and F. When the object is placed between the center of curvature and C and P, the pole of the mirror. Okay, the pole or the center of the mirror. That is, the object is coming from infinity closer and closer. The object is coming closer and closer to the mirror. The image is going further and further away. So listen to this carefully. When the object is at infinity and between F and pole, that means the object is coming closer and closer to the mirror, and the image is going further and further away. Okay, in each one. So in this case also, the image will be very far away. Again, the center of curvature. Okay, see, then draw this way, all this. Okay, now this is your pole. This is your pole of the mirror. Right? Now, after this, you can mark this as mm, the aperture of the mirror, or the size of the mirror through which light can pass. That is called the aperture. Half the distance, we call it f, the focal point or principal focus. Now, the object is placed between f and p, between the pole or the center and the focus. So let us put the object here. This is your AB. Okay, A and B. This is AB, the object. Now this is your AB is the object. It is placed between F and P. What kind of image will be formed? Now first of all, you see one ray of light will pass after reflection. It will pass through. It will hit the pole and become this way. Come this way. Okay. And the other ray of light will hit C, go through C. The first one here. Right, this one in this direction, it goes this way and hits the mirror. This is your point D. Okay, this is point D, this one, the point of incidence. Okay, I'll just write it carefully so that you understand. This is point D, and then the other ray of light from this, the other ray of light hits the pole of the mirror. hits the pole of the mirror and then comes back this way. Remember, this angle must be equal. Okay, so it comes back this way. Right, this is just to mark it carefully. This is the pole of the mirror, this one. Alright, so the two rays of light don't meet, but now you extend them backwards. You see, you extend them backward this way. We're extending it backward. Similarly, extend this backwards. Okay, you are extending this backwards, this way, and it will cross this way and this way. Now you can see the image is formed here. Okay, so the image is formed here. This is B dash and this is A dash. So what can you say? This is the object AB. Okay, the object is formed behind the mirror. Okay, it is formed behind the mirror, and the image is, when it is formed behind the mirror, it is a virtual image. A virtual image is always erect. The image is virtual, comma, erect and formed behind the mirror. Behind the mirror. Okay, you can see once again, the image is virtual, it is upright, erect. The image is virtual, erect and formed behind the mirror, not in front of the mirror. All the other 5 cases, the images were real and inverted and they were formed in front of the mirror. This one is formed behind the mirror. Now, it is enlarged. Okay, the image is magnified. Magnified means enlarged. Magnified. Magnified matlab enlarged. Alright, now once again, so you can see this, if you look at it carefully, and this case is the only one. Okay, in all these cases, number 5, the image is real, inverted. Okay, it is real and inverted. Only in this case, it is virtual, and a virtual image is always erect. Virtual and erect. So, in case of a concave mirror, the image formed at various positions depends upon its position. For example, at infinity, beyond C, at C, between C and F, and at the focus. The image formed is always real and inverted. But only in one position, it is virtual and erect, when the object is placed between pole and the principal focus. Now, as a result of this, you see certain uses are there. Uses of a concave mirror. Now, based on this, you can use the concave mirror for different purposes. Now, you can see in this case, when the object, when it is formed at F, in the 5th case, the lines of rays of light became parallel. Okay. In the case of number 5, when the object is placed at the principal focus, the rays of light become parallel, and the image is formed at infinity. Now, that is used in searchlights. In searchlights, okay, large searchlights, and in torches, headlights of vehicles. You see, a vehicle light, when the light is in the headlight of a car or a scooter, okay, this way, there is a reflector here. This is called a reflector. This reflector is made of aluminium. It is generally made of aluminium or steel. Aluminium is easier because it is lighter. And the bulb is placed out here. The bulb is placed here. Okay? And this is the focus. The bulb is placed at the focus. When the bulb is placed at the focus of this reflector, the reflector is like a concave mirror. The reflector is like a concave mirror. And when the bulb is placed out here, the rays of light which come out, they become parallel this way. This is a parallel beam of light. So you can see when in a concave mirror, when the object, that means the bulb, is placed at the focus, a parallel rays of light come out. And this property of concave mirrors is used in searchlights, in torches, and in headlights of vehicles like scooters, bikes, cars, trucks, and so on, to get a parallel beam of light. It can travel very far and you can see very far away on the road. It is also used in shaving mirrors. You see why? Because you want to get an enlarged image. Property number 5, between F and F. So if you use a concave mirror for shaving, men use that, okay? And you sort of hold your face very close to the mirror, very close, between F and O. Okay, very close. You will get a very large image, and shaving becomes easier. So, and also in shaving mirrors, okay? As a shaving mirror to make it easier. So these are some of the uses of concave mirrors. They are used, they've got practical applications. Alright, this much is enough for today. Tomorrow I will go into image formation by a convex mirror. For a convex mirror, there are just 2 image formations, two places only, very easy. Then we'll discuss the uses, and after that we'll go to reflection of light. Remember, go through this carefully, this video. Okay, learn how to draw these diagrams, try them out on a piece of paper, watch it again, pause the video when you are doing it, so you get a very good idea of how these images are to be formed. They are called ray diagrams, and you must practice them. They are important from the point of view of exam. One such diagram is asked every year, so just make sure you practice it. Okay, good day, have a nice day today.